the networks learned that what you play after the Super Bowl actually makes a difference, because that show really turned it on and went out of bounds, basically. Not so grumpy around here, luckily. Glad to have you hanging out with us on a Saturday, the day before Super Bowl. I'm CJ Silas. It's AM Game Day on ESPN Radio. And the game tomorrow, not only does it make for the great parties and all the good snackies, but if you look back on what the Super Bowl has done for television, the actual little box that, well, now it's big boxes. In fact, controversy over how big they can actually be. What do the networks put on after the Super Bowl in hopes that they're going to get the big ratings, because people tend to leave the TV on and hang out whether they're watching the show or not? Post-game specials. The first one ever, Lassie on CBS, and the Walt Disney Wonderful World of Color on NBC. And a few years later, the highest rated show that came after a Super Bowl, 60 Minutes on CBS, 1980. The CBS News magazine holds the record for most post-bowl game appearances, with 4, but it also is the highest rated with a 33 rating after Super Bowl 14. How about the game changer, the one where you really saw a difference? Well, NBC was sticking to its schedule, and it aired the second episode of the A-Team after Super Bowl 17 in 1983. And it was kind of interesting because it was crazy. It grabbed a huge audience and actually turned that show into a pop culture phenomenon. That was when the networks learned that what you play after the Super Bowl actually makes a difference, because that show really turned it on and went out of bounds, basically. Then what was one of the worst times anybody ever launched a TV show? How about that Paul Rodriguez show with John Schneider, the Grand Slam? That was in 1990, and 2 months later, it was gone. The most watched? How about Friends? Remember that? The NBC one in 96? The population of that show just grew and grew. They got a little bit lower ratings than CBS's 60 Minutes, but it was seen by millions of people. And the one after the Super Bowl is the one people talk about. It was full of guests. Julia Roberts, Brooke Shields, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Marcel the Monkey. But it probably was pretty overhyped, I think. How about the best boost? Last year, Grey's Anatomy after the Super Bowl. And remember, it's not used, the Super Bowl, anymore as a best used for a male audience. They turned it over to the female audience last year, Grey's Anatomy, which has mostly females watching it, just beginning to emerge. And now, look at, so popular, it had a 2-part episode, turning Grey's into a season breakout hit. This year, after the game on CBS, Criminal Minds. We'll see what happens, because it doesn't look like that show is really going to get a big launch after the Super Bowl tomorrow night. What are you going to eat? Where are you going to watch it? Who are you going to be with? These are all the questions everybody's pondering. We've analyzed the game. We've criticized the game. We've hypothesized on the game for 13 days. Now, let's get serious about the menu. Nachos. If you're at home, do you actually make the buffalo wings where you deep fry them and then toss them in that hot sauce? Or do you just buy the frozen ones and stick them on the baking tray in the oven for 15 minutes? Do you actually grate the cheese for your nachos and make them yourself? Or do you buy the bag of cheese that's already grated? It's like 2 times the price and you get half the cheese. But, hey, it's much easier. Do you turn up the grill? What are you in warm climate or are you in cold? Are you heating up hot dogs and hamburgers outside, or are you grilling them on the inside stove if you have to? It's all about the party and what leads up to it. How early do people come over, and by goodness, how long do they stay? It's serious stuff. So who are you going to be with on Super Bowl Sunday? What makes it a special day for you? We're all thinking about that today. How much longer? Okay, what do I have to do today to get me to tomorrow's Super Bowl? Then you start sitting down and thinking about who's going to win. And if you're a gambler, it's like the racing form at the horse races. You got it out early, and you've been working on it all day long trying to figure out who you're going to pick, what the lines are. See, I don't even know, and I probably should, but I don't even know. I know that the Colts are favored, but I don't know the numbers because that's not where I come from. And I get a lot of people do. I think the most money bet on any sporting event in the U.S. is Super Bowl Sunday because there's so many things you can bet on. Not just the game itself, not just how many touchdowns Peyton Manning throws before the half, how many interceptions he throws, how many return yards will Devin Hester have before the half, after the game is over, unders, will Prince need the delay, all the controversies going on. There is a line on everything in this game. So we all have our different angles and the way we look at the Super Bowl. And that makes it so fun. I want to hear from the heart. Where is that place in your chest where you can feel that spot? That first Super Bowl that really made a difference to you in your life. Mine? When it was at the LA Coliseum, Super Bowl VII, Dolphins-Redskins. Didn't have a ticket. I was 6 years old. And it was early in January, not like it is now, all the way into February. And my grandfather, who was not going to be around much longer, took me 5 or 6 hours before the game down to the Coliseum to walk around the parking lot, get the tastes, the smells, tailgates, fans. That was actually when a lot of fans actually got into the game. Corporations didn't take all the tickets, and now you get 10 fan tickets sold on the internet, and you bid on them. In those days, you could actually get a ticket to the game for maybe even face value. So my grandfather took me, and I got all the tastes, but I didn't get to go in. I was home in time for the game to start. I was 6 years old.